Welcome to Driven for Health podcast, episode 68. Coach Brian Parana here. Let's jump right in. The scale is a terrible boss. Let me ask you something. If you ran your business the way you run your fitness, would you still have a business? Imagine you only tracked revenue. That's it. No profit margin, no customer retention, no pipeline, just total revenue. You'd have no idea if you're actually winning or bleeding out underneath the surface. That's what the scale is. It's just revenue. It's just one data point. It's one number that tells you almost nothing about what's actually happening inside your body. The scale doesn't know you did legs yesterday and you're holding water. Doesn't know that you had 3 cups of coffee and you might be a little dehydrated and you had drank last night. It doesn't know that it's Wednesday and your carbs are higher than usual because you had to go to a work dinner. It doesn't know you slept like garbage and your cortisol is spiked up. But you see the number go up and you assume you've failed. You're just reading and trusting a bad metric. One internal frustration point. You know what that is? When you get frustrated, you're not lazy. You are actually a driven person. You're gonna do the work. You read the articles. You watch videos. You listen to this podcast. Cue, good here. Let's cue if you're watching. Cue the mug, the Driven for Health podcast mug. Maybe one day I can have these as merch, right? Who knows? But you do it. You've done this. But you keep starting over. When you start over, you're just delaying the amount of time that you're able to actually make real progress. You'll show up 3, 4 weeks, sometimes 2 years later, and you realize that, shoot, if I would have just been consistent and kept at it, I could be changing. And we get past the fact that the scale is barely moving and that you just had to stop, throw in the towel, and give up everything. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people, and the very next day, the scale changed in the positive factor because we talked through what happened. I gave them reassurance, gave them understanding, gave them an adjustment on what they should or shouldn't do, and then they made progress. But for you listening, here's the part you don't say aloud. You think you're standing in your closet every morning picking one of 3 shirts that hide your gut. The rest stay in the drawer. You know which ones work, which ones don't. So you just keep rotating through and hope that nobody notices you only have 3 days of wardrobe. Next, you see yourself in the bathroom mirror getting ready for work. You suck it in, you change the side angle, let it out, and you tell yourself you'll get to fixing and burning the belly fat later. Your alarm went off at 5:30 this morning. You're going to work out. You had your clothes set out last night, which is kudos for that. That's often an issue that people don't do. But you already know when the alarm went off that you weren't actually going to get up and do anything. You hit the snooze button 3 more times. The next thing you know, you literally don't have time to go to the gym and you're starting to be rushed to get to work. Or how about at night when everyone's asleep, you're standing in the kitchen staring at the pantry. You've had dinner, you've had an evening snack, and you still want more at midnight, 1 o'clock. Trust me, you're not hungry. Maxwell tries to pull this on me all the time. 9 p.m. comes upstairs like, I'm hungry. No, you're not. You definitely aren't hungry. You just got done with dinner a little bit ago. He just wants to put food in his mouth. Or you're scrolling through photos from 5 years ago. You looked and felt different than you do now. You felt better. You actually look back and just, dang, why do I not look like that now? What happened? The worst part is that you know better. You know that the things that have gotten away from you are the things that are in your way right now. You know the scale doesn't just tell the whole story. So let's jump in and go over fat loss is a numbers game. Most men don't understand fat loss works like a business. You need multiple metrics, you need KPIs. In business, good companies track everything from revenue, profit, retention, conversion, customer success rate. They don't just look at one number, the money coming in the door. Bad businesses, they only track one thing and they wonder why everything's falling apart and everything feels rushed, disorganized, lack of confidence in how they're going to perform in months or years to come. And your body works the same way. So let's move past this and let's find a way. I'm going to give you a real scoreboard, 10 metrics that matter to you. You don't need to do all 10, but you need to do more than one. Number one, progress photos. I encourage all my guys when they join my program, The Call to Rise, for their 100-day fat loss journey with me, take a picture before because we're going to want to see it. I saw Andy's, the guy from episode 53. He lost 38 pounds in 100 days. And you can watch it on my Instagram or go listen to that podcast episode, actually. But the original picture, unfortunately, just want to call it out like it is. He looked like he was 58, old man with grandkids with a big belly sitting on the side of the pool. Was his before picture. And the after picture looked like he was 35 running around with a fit, healthy body. That's really a huge difference in what we were able to do together because we saw progress, not just on the scale, but in his body and image. Most guys don't do this. They won't just stop and pause. And if you're watching the video, I'm holding my phone right now. You could literally just take it here to capture the moment in time of where you're at. And I get it. It's uncomfortable. You don't want to stare at yourself shirtless in the mirror. You don't want your wife taking your pictures either because you're somewhat ashamed anyways of the way you look and feel there, lack of confidence. You stand in front of the mirror after you shower with your shirt off and you don't look. You grab a towel and you move on. You haven't really looked at yourself in the mirror for months or longer. You get out of the shower and you're already thinking about how to get dressed without seeing yourself in the mirror. That avoidance is the very problem itself because you can't fix what you won't look at, what you won't pay attention to. You have three angles: front, side, back. At the very least, the front and the side work amazing once a week or once every other week on ideally the same day, and do it first thing emptied out. Same lighting for the love people. I can't tell you how many bad progress pictures I've actually had people retake. I said, I'm sorry, these aren't good. You can't see anything. They'll send one with a black shirt on. Thanks. That's the international sign that you're uncomfortable in your own skin because you wear a black shirt that blends in with everything and doesn't show any of the thing that's going on. So we need the lighting, the same, shorts, just some boxer briefs or something works great. Boxers, swim trunks, something like that. If your waist is flattening out from the side, your shoulders look wider, your posture's better, things are starting to change. Okay. You have proof. The other thing, when you know you have to stand in front of the mirror and take a picture every Sunday, for example, you stay accountable to yourself, most importantly, but to also the person that you told that you're going to change. usually, i.e., me and my program. That's what the guys are doing. They are driven to succeed. Right? And your Saturday night choices will be different if you know you're going to get up and turn in a picture to your coach. That accountability and support are undeniable. Number two, body measurements. You don't just check your bank account total, you check where the money's going. Payroll, expenses, revenue by channel. You track those details. Same with your body. Get a tape measure and measure your waist. A couple of key places. I actually have a measurement sheet. If you want it, just send me an email, brian@brianparana.com. Title measurements. I'll send it straight over. It has 12 weeks in a row that you can track. And it has a number of different visuals on it. And it also has exact points on where to measure your body. Your middle of your right arm, around your nipple line, around your belly button line, around the widest part of your hips, around the middle of your right thigh, and around the thickest part of your calf. Okay. The bicep and the calf aren't going to change too much, but those things in the middle should change quite a bit. Ideally, we're doing this once a week or at the very least once every other week. Okay. This will help you notice that you are slimming up, that your waist is starting to go down. When you go to the office 2, 3, 4 weeks from now and you sit in your office chair and you used to hate to bend over when a pencil dropped because your just belly was in the way. Well, you bend over and you say, oh my gosh, I can actually get the pencil on the floor and it's not a big deal. The scale might not move, but if your waist is dropping an inch, you're headed in the right direction. You are actually winning. And that's what you want to care about. Yes, if you have to lose 40 pounds, the scale will go down at some point, but we want to focus on some of the bigger, deeper things. A DEXA scan, get that every couple months, every 6 months or 4 months, 3 months, every quarter, and that'll tell you. DEXA is a gold standard for body fat, and it'll tell you exactly how much percentage body fat and where it's at on your body to be able to do that. Number three, your clothes fit. You've been wearing the same jeans for 2 years and they're tight and you know it. And every time you sit down, they really put some pressure in the belly. Every time you get in the car, it's pushing on your belly. Your belly actually rubs the steering wheel in a sense. Not good. You're dressed, you're getting dressed to go to work with that suit because you have a business proposal you need to put in front of people and present, and you try and button up all three buttons and one doesn't fit. This isn't good. Okay. You admit you need to change so you don't have to buy a more expensive suit that's bigger, that you are already have two suits in your closet that you aren't wearing right now. There's a shirt in the back of your closet that you love. You keep it there just because one day it might fit again. But you haven't tried it on in 2 years because you already know that it doesn't. And that's where this can be a super powerful thing is you pull that out front and center and use it to help you fit, try it on and fit back into it. Or you're in quotation skinny jeans, right? The ladies have skinny jeans, guys do too, right? They have jeans that they just feel a lot better with. Pull them out, try them on every week or at least every other week to see progress. Pull out that belt. I've got an amazing story about Alfonso. He sent me a video of him. He had his belt and it was a trophy in a sense. He didn't change it. This thing wrapped around his body. It was 1.5 times too big. And the one time he had where he grabbed this drill and he drilled another hole in it on the video for me. And I just laughed. Like guy was just hilarious. And he was so focused on improving. He went from 280 to 210. And I have that on I have it in some testimonial videos and stuff. He's amazing. All right. Let's be honest though, if you're avoiding the scale, you're avoiding the mirror, you're avoiding photos with your kids, you're avoiding the camera at birthdays, you aren't in any pictures on vacation. This is a problem. You don't take your shirt off, you're ashamed to. This is a problem. You avoid going out to water activities, and you just always use the excuse that it's too cold or you sunburn easily, whatever it works. You avoid going to a doctor because you don't want them calling you out about bad labs, blood pressure too high, cholesterol too high, A1C for diabetes is up, your fasting blood glucose levels are 130. Not good. And your wife's been on your back for 6, 8, 12 months to get in better health and go to the doctor, but you just won't. And this is what's important. You do not want to have a heart attack. You do not want to have a stroke. You do not want to be labeled as a diabetic. These things will kill you faster than you want to die. You don't want to die. Okay. You don't want the doctor saying you have cholesterol or your A1C's up and you are a pre-diabetic or a type 2 diabetic. Okay. You have to take this seriously. All right, another way to focus here is number 4 is strength levels. Scale's not moving, but you're benching heavier, you're squatting heavier, you're getting extra sets and reps in at the gym. This is a good sign. That's muscle building. That's progress. It really counts. A lot of men think that progress only means fat loss, but if you're getting stronger, it shows that your body is changing and you can be more functional and do things like move the living room furniture around when your wife wants to. I have done that many times. I've had to go rent U-Hauls to go bring couches and all sorts of stuff for my wife, and I had to be able to lift those things and move them in the house. That's what the strength can actually do for you. Number 5 is your gym form. You're squatting better, deeper, better range of motion, less pain in your knees. Squatting does not hurt your knees. Squatting in poor form or having knees that don't operate properly, that's a problem. That's when you have issues, when you use bad form. But if you develop your squats and build leg strength, then it won't hurt. Same with shoulder mobility, everything else. Okay. You go to the gym and you see that there's changes happening. You don't need to pop ibuprofen, that you see you can get extra reps or sets in. And that's awesome. We need that. Number 6, we're into 2 hands now. Energy levels. People are catching you in the day saying, hey, you seem a lot more energetic. Your wife is calling you out. Your kids are happy that you're doing things after work. You're not needing 3 coffees throughout the day to make it to the end of the day. Super important. You don't need to try not to fall asleep on the way home from work before you get home and decompress. You can just get out of your car and go. That's super important. So energy levels change, people notice them, and then you start delivering your best self to those people. Huge win. Massive. Number 7 is sleep quality. You fall asleep faster. I sleep. I'm in bed. I love Sudoku. And also, I think I mentioned in the last one in the 70s episodes, I'm going to do a 6-part series. Is what I'm creating it right now on sleep. So it'll be pretty in depth, pulling a lot of resources, a lot of research studies and such to give you the goods on that. But you'll sleep better. This is a sign that your body is working in your favor. It's also a sign that you're actually wearing yourself out and you are sleepy. Very important part of this whole thing. Okay, very good. 8. 8 is blood markers. This one, a lot of guys won't go back to the doctor once they had bad labs. They just want to ignore it or they just won't go in the first place. Your labs are the smoke alarm. You don't wait until you see flames to check if the batteries are working or not. You check them so that you don't have to worry about a fire later. And you don't have to have your wife on your back telling you to go and get your labs done and get fix your body. Okay? We don't want that. And we don't want the doctor bringing up medicine, metformin, statins. We don't want those things. And your numbers stay normal for many years to come. Your 40s, 50s, 60s are some of the best years of your life. And they can totally be that way if you are paying attention to this and not just discounting that the scale hasn't moved yet. Now, side note, when you do get your labs done, we're looking for blood pressure, A1C, cholesterol, triglycerides, liver enzymes, testosterone, thyroid, vitamin D, cortisol. Those are going to be the ones that you want to spend a lot of time with getting evaluated so that you know where your health is. Number 9 is mood. Are you in a good mood or are you irritable? Are you happy or are you grumpy? Are you patient with your kids? You engage with your wife? You listen to her, right? You'll be happier then when you have on the right track, when you're eating healthy, balanced meals, when you're moving your body. Okay, the brain changes its chemistry with exercise. The feel good hormones released and they make you happier, less stressed, calm, which you need because then people notice and that's really important that they want to be around you. Okay, the scale doesn't have to move for your mood to change. Number 10, probably most one is how you show up at work, at home. Let's go with work. You show up with purpose, with passion. You are on it in the meetings. You're making more sales. You're doing the numbers. You're the business owner and you're bringing in more business. Okay. You're not the one that's shirking duties, trying not to fall asleep and passing the buck off to someone else. Okay. That's super important. You show up in a way that allows you to be productive and move the business forward in your best the best ways, the best needs for that to happen. When you go home, your kids are watching you. They want to play with you. They want to engage with you. Super important. So when you show up and you have energy that you are more like yourself, that's really important. Let me paint a picture for you. It's 6 months from now. You're still relying on the scale. It's still not moving. You're still frustrated. You started and stopped 3 or 4 more times. Your jeans are still tight. You're avoiding the doctor. You're avoiding your wife about the doctor. And you just keep chugging that coffee. You skip a lot of activities. You've packed your gym so many times, but it never leaves your car. These are all problems. These are big problems, okay? We're still wearing those 3 same t-shirts that then the jacket that doesn't button up all the way. You know you could have changed in that amount of time. The time is gonna pass either way. What is the situation that you wanna put yourself into and be? What is that result that you want, and what are you gonna do about it to get there? Such an important question. That's the gap of where you are now and where you wanna be at, and we have to figure out how to close it with strategic strategies that fit into your everyday life. So that 6 months from now, you are in a better, healthier place. So let's think about this. Even if you only lost, say, a pound for 6 months, we're still losing about, 26 pounds. If you lost 1 pound a whole year, that's over 50 pounds, you're going to feel significantly different in that amount of time. So, what do you actually do this week? Here's the thing that you can do. You just need to pick three of them. You don't need to do all 10 of them, just three. Real quickly, here they are again. Take progress photos, measure your waist, track your energy, notice how your clothes fit, track your strength, get your labs done. Okay. But the truth, there's plenty more. The truth is the scale is going to fluctuate. Some weeks it's up, some weeks it's down. If you're overweight, it does need to trend down. Super important. And if it's not, you need help. You can't do it by yourself. Stop bullshitting yourself, basically. I promise you. I'm I have a huge bullshit radar for people. Like, I don't believe you. You're not going to do it yourself. There's a guy, Chris, that I need to call out. Like, dude, it's been 2+ weeks since you talked to me about changing. You're so hot and ready to go. And there's so many ridiculous reasons why. He's a sales guy. His wife wants him to be more physically active with her, if you know what I mean. Like, you go walk your dog with your wife and you might have more connection. It's important. Huh? So, the real goal, let's be clear about something. The goal isn't necessarily initially hit a number on the scale and then just coast. The goal is to be able to build a lifestyle that allows you to live healthier, happier lives. That this year is better than last year. And it can continue that way for as long as possible. Fitness doesn't stop. You just don't retire from this. Okay. You have to keep going. If your fitness journey is going to keep going until your heart stops beating. You're going to keep making good, healthy food choices until your heart stops beating. The only question is it a good journey or bad one that you experienced? You can be 55 and stronger, more focused, energetic, and excited about where you're at with your life and be a leader in your family. That is a choice that you can make and you have to make it. So I gave you a bunch of different metrics for you to be able to focus on and pay attention to so that the scale doesn't derail you and cost you actual real progress. If this podcast resonated with you, if you've not been doing any of this, you just step on the scale and you don't track or assess progress in multiple different ways, consider getting some help. Consider getting support and accountability. Consider the Call to Rise, a 100-day fat loss challenge. 5 pillars. The call, it's about your identity. You showing up as the man that you should be. The look, the feel, the body, the energy. Number 2 is the forge. It's your physical exercise and your health, your physical health. We're going to move your body and get it stronger. Number 3 is the fuel. This is your nutrition, what you put in your body and how it impacts you every single day. You eat the right foods at the right times in the right amount. Number 4 is the code, your mindset, the way that you think about things is going to be different, I promise, because I prompt and I ask and engage to make sure that you live your best healthy life. And 5, the most important is the brotherhood around like-minded other guys that are dealing with similar issues and being led by me. I'm literally an expert. I've been doing this for 23 years. It's the only thing that I've done. I've listened to tens of thousands of hours of podcasts and YouTube videos and read studies and coached thousands and thousands of hours. So this is thecalltorise.com. I want you to check it out, fill out a form, and let's talk. Lose 20 plus pounds, get your blood panels in order, get those, in quotation, skinny jeans on, and let's go. All right. Pick 3 metrics. Wrapping up here, pick 3 metrics that work best. Scale, clothing, and pictures. Super easy. Do it every week. You'll notice a difference because what gets tracked gets measured. Okay. I appreciate you. I hope that you get a lot out of this and that you change. You change your body. Over and out from episode 68. Thanks for joining me on this Driven for Health episode. All right. That's pretty good. Think so? Yeah, buddy.